Hello, I'm LegenTerry, and it's almost 10 in the morning here. We're supposed to be getting 10 minutes of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom gameplay from AG Aonuma, the producer. So I guess I'm going to react to that, see how it does. Might do a video breakdown at the end of all the footage we got, see what we can find when we pick it apart.
Hello everyone, I'm AG Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. First, I have some news. Development on the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now complete. Thank you very much for waiting.
You guys still have 2 months left.
Many of you are looking forward to this game, and we've released a few trailers so far. Although it'll just be a brief glimpse, I'm going to actually play the game for you all today and show you what it's like.
I may have bet with my friend. I was like, how much money do you think
let's begin.
It would be for if it was just AG Aonuma running around Hyrule Field for 10 minutes?
Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's a vast world to explore. Of course, it's not just the same world as is. It's changed in many ways.
Falling chunks out of the sky.
If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll seek them out for yourself when the game launches. In this game, the vast world of Hyrule reaches high into the sky. You'll notice some landmasses floating up there. We call them Sky Islands.
Very apt name. Good job.
You're probably wondering something. How do you get to the Sky Islands when they're so high up?
Is that a catapult?
If we take a look, oh, something's falling from the sky. Do you see it? I wonder what that is. Let's head over to it.
Okay, so they're gonna do the time reversal thing to get up to it, I assumed.
We're almost at the spot where the object fell. Here it is. Okay, let's use one of Link's new abilities. If you do this on the rock that just fell... Look, it started rising. This power is known as Recall, which rewinds an object's movement. Since I just used Recall on the fallen rock, I can now rise into the sky. We're a lot closer to the Sky Islands. Let's use the paraglider to reach one of them. There are a few other Sky Islands floating here too. I made it. There are lots of ways to reach the Sky Islands, so we hope you'll try a few different methods.
Wonder if that's one of the ones that we've already seen before.
Okay, now we're on a slightly bigger Sky Island. Just like on the surface, there are several man-made structures. Some trees are also growing here. You won't see many of those yellow trees on the surface, though. Let's walk around for a bit. There's a branch on the ground. When you find something like this, you should pick it up. It might come in handy later. Let's continue.
They're getting really basic with it, like, yeah, this is Breath of the Wild.
Something's there. This is a brand new enemy called a construct. We'll
okay,
fight
so
it
they
using
are all
the branch
enemies.
we just picked up.
Maybe.
Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch and... we defeated it.
This English voiceover.
Moving on.
Zonai, we got our first confirmation
of
it.
Sky Island. As expected, fighting with just a branch won't get us very far. Also, this branch is almost broken. So here's another one of Link's new abilities. If we use this branch and the rock over here, and do this, look, we can stick them together. We created a makeshift hammer. This is called Fuse. You can stick objects together to create new weapons with various effects. Let's take on another construct with this fused weapon.
How many things does it work with?
We're dealing with 2 of them at
Does it
once.
work with everything? That's the question. Also, kind of weird how it switches sizes when it goes on its back.
Definitely improved. The other branch broke, but this weapon has much better durability. You can do all sorts of things by experimenting with the fuse ability.
Weapon breaking.
You can fuse 2 weapons, for example. If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork, We can create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
Dang.
With this, we
Wouldn't
don't
touch that
have to
with the
get too
10-foot
close
pole.
to enemies, and we can safely attack from a distance. You can also fuse arrows with materials in your inventory. For instance, try fusing this leaf to an arrow.
Do I have this all the way up? Why is it at 720? Let's try this again.
Fuse
There
an
we go.
ice elemental material to
Sorry,
an
guys.
arrow and you can freeze faraway enemies. Very useful. In addition, let's see. Ah, there's a bird flying around. If you're out hunting, you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult.
Gonna show us.
Apparently, my eyes can't track
Lock
fast-moving
on.
objects as of late, so my shots rarely land. So, at times like these,
Not
here's
with
an
knock drop
eyeball you
part?
can get by defeating monsters.
Oh,
Fuse
piece
it to an
eyeball.
arrow and... Look, it homed in on the target. Let's try this on another bird.
So we got more uses for monster parts besides
I'll
just giving them
fire in that
to,
general direction.
oh, what's his name?
It's very simple.
The monster guy.
Depending on what you stick together, the fuse ability could also be beneficial for hunting. I fused a mushroom to my shield. Now, you're probably wondering if this has any use.
Cordyceps.
Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom. Let's fight an enemy with this. I blocked with the shield. Okay, there's smoke now. The enemy's lost sight of Link, so... attack! Even if you struggle with combat, you can take down enemies using similar methods. In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game, fusing even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more
branch with
gameplay
another piece of
options
wood
for
on it.
sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands even have rivers.
And
We'll want to
train
cross
tracks?
this one, but swimming across it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat.
No more Cryonis.
Of
Gonna
course,
build
there
a boat?
isn't anything that resembles a boat around here. So, we'll lift up this log and attach it to a second log. Let's do one more. We'll bring this over here and attach a third log. It's a makeshift raft. This is another new ability called Ultra Hand. Even though the logs are currently attached,
That's
they
a
can be
great name.
detached. Let's modify the shape of the raft. You can always attach things or detach them like this. Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. We've made a simplified version of a boat.
I can put some
However,
propellers
it
on it.
won't move in its current state, so we'll need something to propel it forward. There's something here. Let's try hitting it.
That's how I use all my
wind.
electronics.
It's blowing wind. Looks like we found a fan. Why don't we try attaching it?
Okay, so it shows you how long the battery lasts on each item.
We'll attach another one. This should make the boat well balanced.
I'm wondering if these are permanent. Like, can you take them around the entire world, or
Okay, they're attached. All
are
right,
they a
let's
thing that
try
get
moving the
used
boat.
up?
Hey, it's moving. It's sailing pretty fast with the wind from the fans. Since we added 2 fans, we should be able to cross the river in no time. All right, we reached the other side.
Oh, is that a friendly
In the most
construct?
recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine. Those vehicles actually aren't in the game from the start. Instead, you'll be able
Yeah,
to
we
freely
got
craft
that.
them on your own. There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game. And depending on how you
Of a
use
raft,
your
cool.
imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things and explore this world at your leisure. There are even more new abilities. take this building over here. Okay, watch this.
Okay.
Look, I passed right through the ceiling.
I thought that was gonna be a
This
thing
new
attached to
ability is
the
called Ascend.
attached to the
If you're in a
green
place with a
shrines.
ceiling, you can go through to the floor above you.
Man, that seems like a nightmare
There
to
are some
program.
restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere.
Inside of
For
a cave.
example, this place has a cave with a hill right above it. If we use the ability here,
What does this do to the camera? Okay,
come
so
on,
just
keep going. Okay, we emerged at the top of the hill.
interesting.
In the previous game, you had to use stamina to climb a mountain. But in this game, if there's a mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up. Here's another example. Imagine you're stuck in a cage. If it's got a ceiling, you know what to do, right? Exactly.
Okay,
Oh,
cage,
there's
huh?
another construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are
Made of a
equipped with
door?
fused weapons, so battles will play out a bit differently from the previous game. Ah, it blew me away with wind. Looks like
Is
it's got
the-
some sort of fan.
Let's see, is the flurry rush still a thing? Are they gonna show it off?
Ah, I got pushed off. Oh well, let's just return to the surface. You can quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this. It feels so good. In the sky, you'll be able to look out across the land. You can also search for destinations that pique your interest. Once you've chosen your destination, you can speed things up, like this. Let's dive into this river.
Hit first.
And we're back on the surface.
He would implode.
There are still so many things I'd like to show you, but let's leave it at that for now.
Pretty sure when you're diving, you need to cover your chest, or else your lungs are just gonna
What did you
collapse
think?
from that height.
Some of Link's new abilities were updated from the previous game.
It's
I'm
already
sure
been
some
10
of you
minutes?
watching me play were thinking,
Oh man.
wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too. In this game, you can do a lot of things just by thinking about what's even possible. There's still a lot of new gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule, and we
This
hope
white
you'll use your imagination to explore it.
Blinding.
That's
I
all
wish they
for
would
today.
use a different background
Thank
color.
you for watching.
Well, we didn't get much. They showed some things that we weren't sure of. Oh, got a little bit more gameplay? Or, oh, it's the OLED. That got leaked like 2 months ago. Looks good. I wish it was a Switch 2. Or whatever the next console would be. I'm still running with the base model Switch from day one. It's definitely feeling its age. April 28th. Alright, back here at the start. Don't have a lot to say right here, except a couple of UI updates. It looks like there's... Let's use my mouse there. This is behind me. Down here in the corner. Looks like there are coordinates on the map now, down here. Kind of hard to see it with me in the way, but, you know, you'll be able to see it when you look back at the video. He's running through... Looks like ruins that have fallen down. There's a big tower in the background with searchlights. We saw that in the last trailer at night. They were lit up. Well, that's interesting. We're not sure what that means or what those do. We have... I think that's either another construct or a building of some kind. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, we have constructs on the ground as well, not just up in the sky. Right here in the background we have something that's making smoke in a set pattern. Looks like smoke signals. Then nothing really of note here. We can just see Skylands in the background at the beginning. It looks like some of the trees have been cut down here, which is strange. Like those are definitely like man-made, or some other thing has done that to those trees. More wild horses, bird. Yeah, it looks like all of this has been like logged, like been cut down for lumber or something. We have I think it's the Twin Peaks from the original Breath of the Wild. And right above the Twin Peaks we have our first major sky island it shows. We have a character yelling here that he needs to reach his friend. I wonder if he's getting attacked by enemies or something. Or if it's just a side quest. Looks like... Oh, it's a Korok. We have a Korok out in the open. Interesting. So... Not gonna have to find Koroks anymore for Korok seeds. I wonder what their replacement's gonna be. And what they're doing out in the open now. I guess they've revealed themselves to the Highlands, kind of. They're outside of the forest. We have our stable, just like we used to have. Like other Highlands down here. Beetle, maybe. Yeah, that's Beetle. I was curious about this. This looks like a catapult. Because it's got like one plank of wood right here. Maybe you get on one end of it and flip it. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just something else for decoration. Up here we have one of those shrine structures with a swirled green energy on it. Which is something that everybody's pointing out and nobody knows what they're for. Here's that chunk of island he was talking about that Link eventually latches onto. And we have the return of the stamina meter. So he talked about needing stamina for climbing, of course, and not needing it for using the other ability for the ascend. We have a different symbol here for his L button. I'm not sure if that's Japanese kanji or if that's a in-game symbol for something. That might be some sort of Zonai symbology. And of course he introduces the rewind. I think it was called the recall function. For some reason the UI says rewind. Maybe it's just because you're rewinding time on that specific object. It shows you the line of where it came from up here. And you have a set amount of time that this works for, which is, I guess that just, you know, eventually it'll run out and it'll go back the same direction it came from. As he goes up in the sky, it looks like it turns almost black and white, like sepia toned at first, and then it goes completely black and white. So I'm wondering if this is like actually traveling back in time and Link is traveling with it since he's on it. As we get higher, we see some more islands in the background, like a lot more back there that we haven't seen yet. There's another dragon up there, it looks like. Hard to tell, but it's right behind the floating part that's going up. We have a giant structure up here of islands. That might be where he goes to in the second part. Reaches the top, it stays still. It doesn't actually... Okay, maybe it falls down. It's kind of hard to tell at 0.25 times speed. We have our new glider design. It's got the tail streamers. Maybe it shows you wind direction now. Not sure what all this is down here on the ground. But then he lands on this structure, which is weird. It's out of order, kind of. It seems like that should be turned around. Maybe that's part of the mechanics for one of the new puzzles. In that building turnaround, or whatever this is. Platform. And it looks like all these sky islands have, like, they come down to a point, kind of. Like, I wonder if there's a reason for that. We have, looks like smoke or something else coming from above this island. Wonder if that's a line leading up somewhere else. To another island. Oh, back here, yeah, we have a whole bunch of smoke covering something. Another island getting covered in smoke for some reason, and then here, that might be the same tower or a different tower, I'm not sure. Yeah, so it definitely looks like this platform was activated because these eyes are glowing green. I think the corners are too, it's hard to tell. We have our first real dragon sighting, one that's more clear than before. So, not sure if that's one of the 3 that we already know of, or I think the 4th one in the DLC was corrupted. It might have been the 3rd one, I can't remember. But I wonder if we're gonna get to interact with them some different way besides just attacking them for body parts. Over here on the right, it looks like this might be some kind of building up here. Looks like there might be another one back here. There's something going on with those. Here's the river he talks about, but that actually leads into waterfalls on this this island. That's pretty cool. But Numa says something here in the trailer about these yellow trees, and he says you won't find them on the surface. I wonder if that has some significance with them being on the Sky Island. Like maybe they're like blessed by the light of Hylia or the three goddesses or something. We have this giant structure. We still have no idea what it's for. It keeps showing up in all the trailers. It's shaped kind of like this, like a V or a U from the side. Of course, he picks up the tree branch, shows us, yeah, there's still weapons made out of random stuff. Get our first sighting of a construct. So these are made by, looks like the Zonai people, because when he beats it up, eventually breaks the tree branch on it, grabs another branch, attacks it again. Kinda cool how it collapses into little parts. And then right, Soldier Construct Horn is one of the parts. And then the second part, Zonai Charge. Looks like the Zonai people had some sort of power in the past. Oh, also apples on the tree. Don't know why I felt like I needed to call that out. Yeah, these boulders are actually like huge, and then he uses his power on it. I wanted to see, because you can kind of see like how it's going to change the power of your weapon when you fuse it. Also, Link rocking that mullet. Old wooden shield plus tree branch. I guess you pick whichever one you want to attach it to, whichever button, and then zoop. Now it's really small, but it gets a +2 bonus, so now it's a 4. Okay. So tree branch was 2, boulder was 2. Now they make 4. And again, there's another one of those things in the background. This is a little bit closer to that structure. You can see it does have internal things. You can actually walk in there. Fuse is the name of that. Got 2 more constructs here of Zonai origin, because we had the Zonai charge name. It looks like from afar they have the like red glowing eye that Guardians have. I wonder if the Guardians were based on this technology, or if they were also made by the same people. Because they never explain where the Guardians came from in the first Breath of the Wild. You're gonna have to get used to calling this game Tears of the Kingdom, because it is not Breath of the Wild 2. Also, he said they do have fused weapons themselves, so they have access to that power, which is interesting, because Link has the Ultra Hand, as they're calling it. Hey, he fuses a pitchfork, gets extra long reach on this. I think it also changes the damage output. Let's see. Okay, it does. So that's a +4. The pitchfork does 4, the stick did 2. Also up here, the symbol changed. Now it's like a sword with power radiating off of it. The interesting change to the UI. And yeah, as you can see, these guys have the red eyes like the Guardians before you approach them. It's interesting that they're like picking up makeshift weapons. They don't have like their own weapon systems like the Guardians. Here again, same thing. Far away, it's got the red eye, like it's searching for enemies. Or invaders, maybe? Because we're not supposed to be on the islands. Because we have normal arrows. You can attach freezing materials. I assume you can attach other materials too. So make fire arrows or other things. Korok Fron to make it windy. That gives it a +1 bonus. He doesn't actually show that. And then later on we have the mention of the Keese eyeballs to make them like seeking arrows. Which was cool. I thought it was a Octorok part. There we have it freezing. That's cool. You won't have to go find ice arrows. You can just make them yourself. I wonder if that's the same with the not light arrows, whatever they were called, ancient arrows. If we have Wave Gang ancient technology. He has a really sweet Zonai bow though. That's cool. Here he's showing off. You can attach the key eyeball, turn it into a seeking arrow so that you don't have to aim. Got some other materials here we haven't seen before. Not sure what those are. Other monster parts. Here we have another shot of that dragon. Whichever one that is. So this is where they came from, though. Because in Breath of the Wild, they would sort of go through like a portal in the clouds. You couldn't tell where they were going. And they flew away. Here he's showing he has a mushroom attached to his shield. I was joking about it making cordyceps. So whenever you hit your enemies, they get infected. You know, they'd fight for you. But that's not the case. It works like a smoke screen, basically. So that's a cool use of materials. We've also seen him using offensive materials. So before he had it was like a dragon flamethrower attached to the shield, and he was using it to attack. I think it was a like in a cave, and it was like the first trailer. So I wonder how you're going to attack with the shield. If that takes up like your shield surfing button, maybe. We have a sail. It's already like pre-built. And a club. That's what that said. Another rock could be attached to it to make an axe, maybe. And here is how to build a boat. But first, very strange, he doesn't call out this. It looks like a track for, not a train, but for like minecarts. We've seen it in the other trailers, though. You can actually grind on these, like Sonic Adventure style. Also, we have the Ultra Hand, which, interesting that it shows it as like a reddish orange and not the blue color that it is. But it makes a triangle on the hand in the palm. So, speculate what you will. Maybe it's Ganon's power? Maybe it's the Triforce? Who knows? He's building a boat. We already saw this. I'm not going to make you suffer through it again. But we have these parts, which are like Zonai powered parts. We have propellers here. We've seen wheels. We've seen other Zonai parts that you can attach to other things. Yep, there we have it, the Ultra Hand. Had not heard that before. It's got very much like Super Nintendo energy. Reminds you of the Power Glove. Here we can see how he activates it. Where we whipped a stick and pokes it. Wondering, I guess they all have their individual batteries, like if you came over and smacked this one, if a second one would pop up, or if that one would just deactivate. But then when they're combined on the boat, later on, you see he only has to whack one to make it work. So I'm thinking if they're attached to the same structure, you just have to hit one thing and it'll activate everything that's attached to it. A little bit too far. One hit on one of them, activates both. Battery pops up. It's all the way across here pretty quick. I'm just wondering like how useful that's actually going to be, or if people are just going to swim across the water. Here on the other side we have Stam Bulb. Guess that gives you back stamina. Here's some of the vehicles they showed before. So again, we have wheels that are made of Zonai stuff. We have a power source, it looks like, in the background, some lights. They're all attached by the green goop from Fuse. Yep, they showed off that. Showed off the flying stuff. It's got 4 propellers, looks like a big iron door, maybe. Here we have a sail. It looks like it reorients itself when he attaches it with the Ultra Hand. So the wind's blowing this way as it turns around. If we have Korok leaves back, I would assume we can like hit the sail with it and change the direction. Here he activates it and it starts flying. And he hits the sail. He doesn't hit any of the corner pieces. So I'm guessing it's any part of the structure. Be curious to know if that takes weapon durability though. The first use of it, you can see up on the top of whatever he's doing, that symbol pops up out the top. I kind of thought that would be like a context sensitive thing and not a thing you could just do whenever there's something above you. So, like again, like I said, that's got to be a programming nightmare to make sure that's not abused. Make sure it's not breaking anything as well. Takes him a little bit longer to pop up this time for some reason. There's no like indicator for how much power it takes to get through something or anything. Here we have the ascend symbol. It looks like a little man getting abducted by aliens. Like a swirl marker right here, kind of. Hard to see from that angle. Can I get a better angle? So yeah, it looks like one of those block constructs maybe that he fought in the last trailer, I think. It looks like maybe that comes to life and attacks. That's a little battle arena there. Yeah, you can see it's got its eye right there. We have another one of these platforms, so those have to move. And we have this guy in here. I was really curious about this. So when he comes in here, I think it says something popped up on the screen. Let's see. We have a fire, like a campfire. And then this guy looks like maybe he's friendly. It looks like he's watering plants. And this takes a really long time to get through. Looks like he's just swimming through the ground. A really cool way of just not like blocking off the camera the whole time though. Does this animation. Pops out of the top. It says exit, doesn't make you immediately jump out. I wonder if you can actually like move around while you're still on the ground. And it's still cold. You're still gonna have to take like spicy peppers or whatever. We have minecarts over here, and what is this? Like a crystal ball. Something. Yeah, we have more minecarts. Going either direction. Like these tracks go all the way back here to the other part of the island. Here we have another Zonai construct outside of another cave, it looks like. Oh, we got some pop-in. Uh-oh. That's right, it's on the Switch. It's old hardware. Not anything like Pokemon. We have, it looks like he made a weapon out of a door and a stick. It throws wind at him like a Korok leaf would. Right here he knocks him off. It sort of spins its weapon around before it takes the big swing. Those... the sides of the islands are like very... like man-made. They're not naturally cut off. They're super straight lines and they have these little marks. Weird. See, the waterfall's kind of cut off as he falls down. We have more of these symbols on the ground. Yeah, that's our first good look at like whatever this is in the background. It is hard to tell what that's supposed to be. And maybe it's got the Zonai dragon head. It's hard to tell. We have something right below here. A couple of those. Kind of look like malice coming out of the ground, maybe. This tower structure with the lights around it. Alright, do we get close enough to see what this is? No, still no idea. Still no clue. Like it's in a U shape, whatever it is. I'm thinking maybe it's a dragon. It looks like that's an arm. That's the head. And it wraps around into a tail. Maybe one of the... what was the... no, it wouldn't be the Divine Beast. The Divine Beast was a bird. Maybe the Lizard Divine Beast? The one that was running around Death Mountain. Here we have the cube, for lack of a better name. And then here you can obviously see Hyrule Castle floating on a pool of malice. So I think that was what that first thing that we saw was. We have little ones down here. Oh, that's interesting. Looks like another symbol in the side of this hill right here. Kinda hard to tell from that distance. Death Mountain spewing out malice for some reason instead of lava. Yeah, I'm not an expert on the all of the landmarks in Breath of the Wild. Played it in 2017 when it came out, and it's been a while since I've thought about any of the stuff other than watching a few speedrunners and stuff. Then here it shows him go turn into a bullet and go straight down. Looks like we have one of those new bird enemies over here. I forgot they were called, if they had a name. Yeah, you can see it's got like that unique tail. It looks kind of like a glider. And straight into the water. Yeah, he does extend his arms outwards. That's neat. There's actually water drops that fall after you dive in. Yeah, right up here we have more of these just like wooden planks. I guess they're made for crafting, but there's a sign next to it. Maybe it says like, hey, take these, use them. Got some ruins of some sort of fort or something. Again, a bokoblin getting carried by these guys. Just a little minor thing. There's an enemy camp back here with the skull above it. Not super important, I'd point out. And again, back here you can see something making these smoke signals. Or to draw your attention, there's a stable. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the stables that have the smoke signals near them. I think that's about it for the gameplay. I'm gonna stop before I get blinded. There's something else here. Not sure what that is. Yeah, I think coming into this, everybody was kind of worried that it was just gonna be Breath of the Wild again, with a little bit of DLC thrown in. I think people are crazy. This has been in development for a long time. I think they've had plenty of time to make new content using all of the old areas. But still excited for it. I wish we could get more about the story, but I understand they don't want to spoil it, and I'm kind of glad they're not spoiling it. So whatever. I guess we'll see when the game comes around. So that's me, LegenTerry. This is my reaction to the Tears of the Kingdom 10 minutes of gameplay. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.